What if I told you that the people politicians claim are draining Social Security are actually the ones keeping it alive? The truth about immigrants and Social Security will shock you. In this video, you'll discover the surprising reality of how both documented and undocumented immigrants actually contribute to Social Security, why they can't access most benefits, and how they're contributing over $25 billion annually to a system they'll likely never benefit from. By the end of this video, you'll have the facts to counter the biggest myths about immigration and Social Security, and understand why this issue is crucial for America's financial future. Welcome to Financial Area, where we break down complex financial topics with facts, not fiction. If you want to stay informed about the real stories behind America's financial systems, hit that like button and subscribe for more eye-opening content. Let's start with something that might blow your mind. There's a group of people in America who pay billions of dollars every year into Social Security, money that goes directly to support current retirees and disabled Americans. But here's the kicker. These same people will never, ever see a penny of those benefits themselves. Who are they? Undocumented immigrants. Before we dive deeper, let's make sure we're all on the same page about how Social Security actually works. Social Security is a federal program that provides financial support to Americans in retirement, as well as to those who are disabled or survivors of deceased workers. To qualify for Social Security retirement benefits, you need to work and pay into the system for at least 10 years, earning what's called 40 credits. You also need to reach a certain age to start collecting. Now here's the crucial part that most people don't understand. A Social Security number isn't just a random ID card. It's the key to everything. Only individuals who are legally authorized to work in the United States get valid Social Security numbers for employment purposes. This single fact is what changes everything about this debate. So let's address the elephant in the room. Can undocumented immigrants receive Social Security benefits? The answer is absolutely unequivocally no. Undocumented immigrants, those living in the U.S. without legal authorization, are completely ineligible for Social Security benefits. They don't have valid Social Security numbers and therefore cannot claim benefits, regardless of how long they've lived or worked in the country. But wait, it gets more interesting. Despite being totally ineligible for benefits, many undocumented immigrants are actually contributing massive amounts to the Social Security system. How is this possible? Well, some undocumented workers use fake or borrowed Social Security numbers to get jobs. When they work, both they and their employers pay payroll taxes, including Social Security and Medicare taxes, just like any other worker. The Social Security Administration has something called the Earnings Suspense File. This is where they track wages that can't be matched to a valid Social Security number. The taxes paid on these earnings are still collected and go straight into the Social Security Trust Fund. But here's the tragic irony. The individuals who paid those taxes will never be able to claim benefits from their contributions. The numbers here are absolutely staggering. Undocumented immigrants contribute over $25.7 billion to Social Security and $6.4 billion to Medicare every single year. Let me repeat that, $25.7 billion annually. This money supports the system and helps pay out benefits to current recipients, even though the contributors themselves will never see a return on their investment. It's essentially a one-way financial gift to the American people. Even if an undocumented immigrant later gains legal status, the contributions they made while undocumented don't count toward their benefit eligibility. Only earnings reported under a valid legally obtained Social Security number count towards Social Security credits. The system is specifically designed to prevent anyone without legal status from accessing benefits. Now let's talk about documented immigrants, people who are legally authorized to live and work in the United States. This includes green card holders, refugees, asylum seekers, and others with legal work authorization. These folks are subject to exactly the same rules as U.S. citizens when it comes to Social Security. They must work and pay into the system for at least 10 years, reach the minimum age to claim retirement benefits, and be legally present in the U.S. when they apply for benefits. Here's where the story gets even more surprising. From 2010 to 2020, documented immigrants contributed $294 billion to Social Security. But their net impact is actually positive. They've contributed $17 billion more than they've received in benefits. This happens partly because some immigrants work in the U.S. for a few years and then return to their home countries without ever claiming benefits. Others may not meet the full eligibility requirements for various reasons. Let's destroy some myths that are floating around out there. First myth: undocumented immigrants are draining Social Security. As we've just proven, this is completely false. Undocumented immigrants cannot receive Social Security benefits, period. In reality, they're helping to fund the system without ever drawing from it. Second myth: immigrants are the reason for Social Security's financial problems. The Social Security Trust Fund is facing challenges, but not because of immigrants. The real issue is demographic. There simply aren't enough workers paying into the system compared to the number of retirees drawing benefits. In fact, immigrants, both documented and undocumented, help alleviate this problem by increasing the number of contributors. Third myth: immigrants qualify for SSI and other federal benefits. Supplemental Security Income is a needs-based program for the elderly, blind, and disabled. To qualify, you must be a U.S. citizen or meet very specific criteria as a legal immigrant. Undocumented immigrants are categorically ineligible for SSI. While some state programs may offer limited assistance, federal benefits are completely off limits to those without legal status. Now let's talk about the real crisis facing Social Security, because there actually is one, and it has nothing to do with immigration. The Social Security system is under strain because the ratio of workers to retirees is shrinking dramatically. Fewer people are entering the workforce, the birth rate in the U.S. is declining, and baby boomers are retiring in massive numbers. This means fewer people are paying into Social Security while more people are drawing benefits. This is where immigrants become part of the solution, not the problem. Immigrants, especially those of working age, help offset this demographic imbalance. By joining the workforce and paying payroll taxes, they provide a crucial source of funding for Social Security. Here's something that might surprise you. Deporting large numbers of immigrants, as some political rhetoric suggests, would actually worsen the financial outlook for the program by reducing the number of contributors. Think about it logically. While increasing the birth rate is one way to address the worker-to-retiree ratio, the effects wouldn't be felt for nearly 2 decades. A baby born today won't be contributing to Social Security until around 2040. In contrast, allowing more immigrants to enter and work legally in the U.S. provides an immediate boost to the Social Security Trust Fund. The Social Security Trust Fund is projected to be depleted by 2034 if no changes are made. To address this crisis, policymakers need to consider several options. They could increase the number of workers by reforming immigration to allow more people to work legally in the U.S., which would provide an immediate boost to the system. They could adjust benefits or taxes by changing how benefits are calculated, or increasing payroll taxes. Or they could encourage higher birth rates, though this is a long-term solution that wouldn't help for decades. Politicians and commentators sometimes claim that immigrants are taking Social Security away from American citizens. These statements are often made for political gain and simply aren't supported by facts. The data clearly shows that immigrants are net contributors to the system, not drains on it. Here's what really needs to happen. While immigrants help support Social Security, the program still faces long-term challenges that require comprehensive reform. Solutions may include adjusting the retirement age, changing the way benefits are calculated, or increasing payroll taxes. However, blaming immigrants for the system's problems is not only factually incorrect but also counterproductive to finding real solutions. Let's address some common questions. Can an undocumented immigrant ever receive Social Security benefits? No, unless they change their status and become legally authorized to work in the U.S. Even then, only the earnings reported under a valid Social Security number after gaining legal status count toward eligibility. What happens to the money paid by undocumented immigrants? It goes into the Social Security Trust Fund and helps pay benefits to current recipients. It's not set aside for the undocumented worker and cannot be reclaimed by them. It's essentially free money for the system. Do documented immigrants receive more than they pay in? On average, no. Documented immigrants have contributed billions more to Social Security than they've received in benefits, making them net contributors to the system.